You can watch it online, and it was put together by the Mohican Advocates. You can find their website at mohicanadvocates.org.
Missing for more than half a century.
That's okay. That's okay. I do this at home all the time, and a half-hour TV show takes me an hour and a half to watch. Hoping it's going to skip forward. So, folks, again, and the premise of this short documentary is that we might not get a third chance. You know, we got that. Seeing those hills ravaged of all trees isn't what we're used to seeing today. And the history of the Clearport Gorge and why it was preserved, it was too steep, is very interesting. And actually, the Hog Hollow Trail, which runs from the covered bridge, as you drive down into the park, and I don't know from which side, so I'm very sorry, but you can actually see that old roadway across the creek in one part of the park, maybe not at this time of the year. And there's a trail that runs from the covered bridge to the fire tower. It would be on the road from the fire tower down to the covered bridge. There's still portions of that road that you can see running through the other side of the river there. So the premise is that we might not get a third chance. As I spoke earlier, you know, the threat to the water from the waste stream created is what we're working on. I circulated a petition, or a petition was circulated. There was legislation at the State House introduced last year, House Bill 148, Senate Bill 178. We were asking to ban fracking waste in Ohio, a very broad ask. We haven't got a lot of traction on it, but it has created opportunities for discussion. We had a legislator day in April and approached many of our legislators and didn't get a lot of support for the bills. And the way our system works, they will lapse at the end of this year, but we are trying to get a hearing for later in the fall. So there's work being done at the state level, but again, it's very important to get involved at the local level. And we have a petition that we're going to be circulating, and we'll be approaching the commissioners at some point in time. We would like to go to, you know, Loudonville Council and some trustees meetings as the summer progresses. Like I said, we'll be doing other work at our organizational meetings, which we hold the second Tuesday of every month here at the library in the cafe. And we're pretty full in the cafe, and we might find ourselves moving to another room, but we'll meet on the second Tuesdays from 5:30 to 7:30. And at those meetings, we do planning. You know, the folks helped us from all over Ashland County came to put this presentation together to do the screening last month. And what we'll be doing in some of our organizational meetings is bringing in specific speakers to teach us how to access the ODNR database, to teach us other things about becoming more knowledgeable about this issue. How do we approach our trustees? What types of government do we have in the various townships, countywide, and so forth? You know, how can we viably do something that's going to result in positive change? Talking about it is great, having these discussions and coming together is great, but what action can we take to make a difference? So, again, I thank you for coming. There's a yellow notepad back there as well. I wrote questions or comments, like the polling question that the one lady had. If you write your question down and your contact information, whether it be a phone number or an email, I will get back to you and connect you up. Oh, you asked the polling question, if there had been people polled, and Melanie said we could access that. Connecting up with WCD and the work that folks are doing, I think, was your request. So if you write that on that yellow piece of paper, I'll make sure that your questions are directly responded to, and I connect you up with the folks that can help you with that. Any last thoughts? Robin?
I would like to thank everyone who contributed to the refreshment table. And please come eat, have little baggies, if you want to take something home for the trip. And lemonade is absolutely delicious, and everything. Special thanks. Yes, coffee, and special thanks to a couple of local restaurants who donated, because they feel very strongly about the injection well issue, and they want to do what they could to help. And I'm thankful to Wedge Wing Restaurant in Perrysville, and Rancher's Grinder in Mansfield, as well as all the other people who have donated home-baked goods here.
Very good. Thank you all for coming this evening.
Thank you.